Well, I'm probably a few days late for this, but I figured whatever, and things like that. I had college work to do. But anyway, I'm here to talk about the new Pixar film, Monsters University. The film where Mike and Sully go to college, and it's the prequel to Monsters, Inc. So, what did I think of it? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it okay? Honestly, I thought this was their best film since Toy Story 3. And I think technically that's a good thing. So, what do I like about it? I mean, I like the characters, the story, the music, the setting, and I'll get all into that later, but I did think this was the best film since Toy Story 3 that they had. And to me, that was just a great film. I mean, it had that heartwarming ending and everything, and it really got to college kids like me, or high school at the time, because we were graduating and saying goodbye to friends and stuff like that, and it was just great. Then Cars 2 came along. I don't really hate Cars 2, but I don't think it's really good as a Pixar film. I mean, if it wasn't a Pixar film, I think it would be alright, a pretty good film, but something like Cars 2 isn't what you expect from Pixar. I mean, it's not a Pixar film, and that's why it failed. It's just a terrible movie for Pixar, but after that they had Brave. It was alright. It wasn't really the movie I was expecting. I was hoping it would be better, because from what the trailer they had, it was like about mystery and magic and adventure. I mean, they had that stuff, but it wasn't really in there as much as we thought it was going to be. But I think that's why some people didn't really like it as much as they thought they were going to. It was just pretty much a disappointment. And I did like the film, but it could have been better. And now Monsters University, but first let's talk about the first Monsters, Inc. I always thought it was alright. I mean, it's cute and funny, and it has that sad, happy ending, but I always thought it was kind of more low on my list of Pixar films. I mean, I just didn't really care for the characters as much, except for Randall, because he's awesome. And really anything else in the film. To me, it was just more the more boring films. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love the movie, but I still think it's one of the more bland films that they made. But overall, I do like it a lot. But Monsters University, I think this movie is actually superior to the original. But so why do I like it? Okay, so I really like the plot that they had going, and so in it, okay, you probably noticed an edit there. Sorry, I had to go get a drink of water. But okay, back to the story. But so the story was pretty much that Mike and Sully meet at college, and they don't really get off to a great start. I mean, because Sully is with the jocks, and Mike is technically with the geeks, even though he doesn't hang out with them, but he's pretty much with them. So they meet each other, they don't really care about each other or anything like that, and just stay away from each other. Then for 3 months, Mike pretty much just studies for the final exam so he can pass it. But Sully, he does nothing really. He just does scary. But because of that, he doesn't really get good grades, whereas Mike does. So months pass, Mike studies, and Sully does nothing. Then they come to the final exam, and at it, Mike and Sully get into a fight. Then during the fight, one of those scream things, I'm not sure what they're called, but anyway, they kind of break one of them. Then the headmaster comes in, and she's like all pissed and stuff like that, and she tells them that they can't scare anymore. So then they're all mad at each other and don't talk to each other. Then after that, Mike remembers this scaring contest where I'm not sure if they win a prize or anything, but Mike convinces the headmaster that if he wins it, and his team, that they can go back to scaring. So him, Mike, and all the geeks decide that there'd be a group. But everyone thinks they're going to lose. So they just keep training and training to try to win the games, and that and competing in the games pretty much the rest of the film. And I really enjoyed that stuff. I thought it was pretty exciting. I really liked how it would and I thought the contests were a lot more better than the training parts, but they were still pretty good. What I liked about it most was definitely the climax. I probably won't give it away, but I really liked it when how they just put it in and how Mike and Sully had to work together. I thought that was really good, and definitely my favorite part of the film. So now for characters. We all know who Mike and Sully are, so there's really no point talking about them, but I like them. I probably like Sully more, but Mike's pretty cool. Surprisingly, Celia, I think her name was, she wasn't in this movie. I really thought she was, but she wasn't in here. I mean, it would have explained how they became boyfriend and girlfriend, but she wasn't in here. I mean, maybe they forgot about her or something. I don't know, but the geeks, they're okay. You have this old guy who has like a leaf for a mustache. These two geeks with one geek with two heads. This blob guy who looks like Chowder. I mean, at least I thought so. And this other guy who doesn't have legs and uses his arms to crawl around. So they were pretty okay. The jocks, they're just jocks. I mean, I didn't really care for them. There's the normal jocks, bully everyone around, think they're better. I mean, I don't really care for jocks. Then you have the headmaster. I mean, I think she was my new favorite character. I mean, I really liked her. I mean, I liked her personality, I liked her design. It was like this centipede dragon mix or something. I don't know, but I really liked how she looked and just how she was. I mean, she was cool. She was just definitely my favorite. Then you also have Randall who comes back. Instead he wears glasses for the first part of the film until he takes them off. But sadly he doesn't really get much of a part, and I'll get into that in a few minutes. But he was still pretty cool. The music was pretty cool. Also, they took some parts from the original Monsters Inc., like the trash can scene. I'm not sure if it has a name, and they also had regular music, or new music. I don't really remember much though. And I also like the setting of the film. I mean, I'm not at a university yet, I'm just at a community college, so to me, a university is just huge. I mean, it's like, I mean, these community colleges are pretty small compared to universities. I mean, and I also liked how they had it in autumn. I mean, most animated films don't have their films in autumn because they had to edit all the leaves different colors and stuff, so it's usually in the winter or the summer when they have this kind of stuff. So I really liked how it was in the fall. So I think first I'll talk about stuff I don't like about it. I didn't really like how Randall's part was pretty small. I mean he came in like for 5 minutes then left. Came in for 5 minutes then left. Came in for 5 minutes then left. I mean, I know he was going to have a smaller part, but that was still pretty depressing that he wasn't in there, and I think that did disappoint many Randall fans. I mean, he disappeared like about 3/4 through the film, and I don't think I'm getting anything away here, but he's like, "I'll get you something." But yeah, after that, he's not mentioned again. He's not seen again. Nothing. I thought he would at least make an appearance at the very end of the film and just like give him a sneer, but he doesn't. He just disappears. So yeah, I didn't really like that part as much. Another thing I didn't really care for was the emotion. I mean, it was heartwarming and everything, but it didn't go and get me crying, a grown man, like Toy Story 3 did. And like, I don't think Brave really had anything emotional too, and I don't think Cars 2 even did make anyone cry. I mean, I barely remember the film. But there wasn't really anything sad about this movie. But it still did have its heartwarming moments. I Another thing I liked about the film was those two guys from the original film who always went like, "It's Sullivan, not Sullivan," and they always slapped each other. I'm definitely glad they weren't in here. I mean, I'm sorry, but I hated those guys. To me, they were just annoying. I mean, I was really glad they weren't in here, but... So yeah, they weren't in here, so that was a good thing. So overall, it was a great movie. I really liked it, and I definitely think it was their best since Toy Story 3, since ever since Cars 2 came out, everyone's saying, "Oh, Pixar's going downhill, this is the end." Come on guys, every film studio has their bad films. And right now, I will admit that this Pixar is just on their down streak when they're just not having all their good films. But I do think that Monsters University is on the right track. I mean, they aren't on it again, but it is getting them to it. And the next Pixar film, I think, it's The Good Dinosaur. I don't know what to say about that yet. I mean, the title, it sounds like a preschool show to me. It sounds something that would be on Nick Jr. And the film, I think, it's about pretty much just dinosaurs in the modern world, and I thought that would be impossible. I mean, if I remember right, if dinosaurs never went extinct, humans wouldn't be around, so I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I mean, maybe they'll have an exception in there, but I don't know. I mean, hopefully this film will be good, but I do have my doubts right now about it. After that, they're going to have this Mind movie that takes place in a girl's mind, but it's directed by a guy. I really don't get that. Wouldn't it make more sense for a woman to make a film about inside a girl's mind than a guy? I mean, it's like a guy making a movie about inside a girl's mind. We don't get it. We probably won't never get it. Same for girls and getting guys' minds, or the other way around. So I really don't get why they're doing this. I mean, I just really think a woman should probably direct it. After that, it's going to be Finding Nemo 2. I'm not looking really forward to that because the original Finding Nemo just had a perfect ending. It didn't need anything, but whatever. I mean, Dory's a good character, so it'll probably be good. After that, it's this DOD's something, and I'm pretty sure it's called Day of the Dead in English transactions. It's pretty much going to be a Mexican type thing, and I really don't know anything about Mexicans or their culture, so... But it does look interesting, and it's the most interesting film I'm interested in so far. And then they also have a couple more unnamed films left. Hopefully, one of these is The Incredibles 2. I mean, it's been 10 years practically since the film came out, and they haven't had a sequel yet. So they better have that film planned out. It's the only Pixar film for a sequel that anyone wants, and they haven't had it yet, and it's amazing. But yeah, those are the Pixar films that are planned out right now, and I did like Monsters University. It's definitely their best film since Toy Story 3, and I was definitely satisfied. So they are on the right track again, and I think they could be have better films on the way if they don't go and screw up again like they did with Cars 2, but it's good for them, and hopefully they are on the right track, and hopefully they can.